Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on CapnclydesMTG. Today, we got something a little interesting. News is dying down due to the holidays and stuff, but there's always a little something out there popping off. So, I noticed this article by Nick Miller here from the Star City Games department. It says the MTG play design members, more modern unbans are a possibility. So, let's talk about that for a second. So before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, the comments down below, feed that YouTube algorithm. And, do the thing so I can do the thing. Links in the description. TCG Player, eBay, subscribe to YouTube, all that good jazz. Because, well, somebody's got to do it. And if you're watching me, I'm so sorry. Anyway, with all that said and done, let's take a look here at something that Nick caught in the video interview, which I went back and watched, and he is right. It could be taken this way. So, it says here that, Dan Musser and Carmen Colompons, I can't pronounce, I'm K, of Magic Design Team, joined Blake Rasmussen on weekly MTG stream to discuss Monday's ban restricted announcement, talk about the decisions the team made, answer questions regarding bans, unbans, and potential future moves. Now, Musin and Clomperin, I remembered finally, both started by admitting that Modern wasn't in a great spot, you think, and that sentiment had compounded from the previous ban restricted announcement where Nadu, Winged Wisdom, and Grief had to be banned. They noted that the format's health had reached a point where a couple more bans wouldn't be enough this time around, so the play design team spent most of November working out not only bans needed to be fixed to fix Modern, but also unbans that would help return the format to its glory. Aw, did you fuck something up, Wizards? No. Anyway, parents pointed out that the One Ring had been adopted by more and more decks, while also being a 4 of in the energy deck. Action had to be taken. Yes, we all know how bad it was. Along with Giganta, the One Ring, so forth and so on. Now, as for taking energy decks down a notch, yes. Giganta, we know, we talked about that. Now, unbans. This is the part we want to talk about. As for unbans, Clomperins and Muser emphasized how important it was to bring Modern back to what players loved about it years ago. It's kind of funny, off topic. When all this started happening and they started banning all this stuff and changed Modern, I remember being told by players, they called me Magic Boomer and to go play my old Modern. And what do you know? After years of them doing this, the only people who still play in Modern are the boomers. And guess what? There's a lot of us. And guess who ain't playing? Them young guys who ain't got no money and jobs. Anyway. So the format needs competitive decks in most macro archetypes, and players want to play with iconic cards of an eternal format. Yeah, so I mentioned this before, and I talked to my friends about it a lot. I think it's really starting to take shape now. Because Legacy and Vintage are so old, it's a great format. It's fun. People love to play it. Cards are outrageously expensive, so it makes the game hard to play. As the formats get older, new formats are developed, i.e. Pioneer, Alchemy, if you want to call it a format, things like that, because we have to have new subgroups of cards that are actually accessible and not way overpriced. And because of that, as you push Legacy and Vintage further down the rung and harder to get because you can't reprint those cards, and that's fine, Modern begins to become the new Legacy. And Legacy used to be so popular and how fun it was. And Modern had a taste of that with all these old cards that were really powerful. And I think we're starting to get to the point where, not that Legacy won't be played, but it'll be hard to get an event together. Even though there was a Legacy event here recently, had 2,000 people, and it won't go there. But Modern can have a lot bigger events because the cards are more available, reprintable, and still have that power draw that you get from playing like Legacy. So anyway, so to do this, they unbanned 4 cards: Mox Opal, Faceless Looting, Splinter Twin, and Green Sun Zenith, boosting up lesser played archetypes and reviving fallen strategies was key. Mox Opal fuels many different deck archetypes. Faithless Looting has a home in a ton of graveyard decks. Yeah. Green Sun Zenith can bolster green creature decks, and Splinter Twin is an archetype all in itself. Many players have fond memories of at least one of these cards, and letting them back in love and letting them fall back in love with Modern was the goal the team championed. Yes, because you have banned all the cards that people want to play, so therefore you've lost all your players. We talked about this in many different ways on the channel. It is okay to change and adapt. But like I mentioned, you need to set up new formats and shut cards out of those formats so that those cards are specific to certain formats where you can have that fun craziness and people know to expect it. For example, let's say they ban Soul Ring. I mean, we've seen the uprise we got in Commander from the other cards. People just want to play the cards. So just let them make new formats. Draw a line in the sand on what cards are legal and what ain't. And just go from there. Trust me, it will be fine. And if the formats don't perform, don't play them. I mean, for the love of God, look at Alchemy. You couldn't have screwed that up if you tried anymore, Wizards. But guess what? We don't care because we still have Pioneer and Standard and Modern. And it's fine. If we like a format you come up with, i.e. Commander, we will play it. And guess what? That's when you know you've got it. But what you got to do is actually try. So, while the Modern unbans are exciting, Clomparens and Musin acknowledge the risks involved with making big changes. They said team wasn't positive all the moves would work out long term, but the unbans were a swing for the fences and a way to show players that play design is listening. Gee, you think? Maybe, sort of, kind of. It's almost as if all the players who actually play the game and spend money are actually telling you to do something. Your customers. Crazy talk. Anyway, she also pointed out that Modern is in a much different place now than they were when these cards were banned. This is also true. In many different ways. We can talk about how bad it was back then because how dominant these cards were, and they did need a ban. But I think one of the biggest problems Wizards suffers from is once they ban something, they literally take the card, they put it on the shelf somewhere, close the door, and it never sees the light of day again, no matter how absurd or other ridiculous cards get put into the format. Yeah. So, anyway. So, if certain decks still don't perform, especially green creature decks, other cards can come off the ban list as well. So, there you have it. So, the notable things from the stream included a little list he's got here, which I thought was really good. Standard, despite this weekend's Arena Championship meta being quite homogenized, is largely healthy and diverse. I don't know about that. The data shows decks like the Mirror Midrange and Reg aggressive decks are not out of bounds. No, they're all there is, basically. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So play design is keeping an eye on the builds of Nadu and Legacy. Just stop. I mean, okay, I just realized something. Nadu, green, blue, and 1. Banned in all formats. Overpowered. Nobody tested it well. Damn shit show. Oko, green, blue, and 1. Overpowered Planeswalker. Banned in all formats. I think I'm starting to see a pattern. I'll take his tinfoil hat off. Anyway, action will be taken if Bant build continue to grow in popularity and win rate. Heaven forbid Bant. The scorn of the earth. Anyway. More modern unbans are likely in the future, but play design still wants to avoid negative play patterns such as ones like Umezawa's Jete, completely dominating creature decks after one attack. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, some things shouldn't come off the list, but you should look at all of them. I mean, let's be honest. Legacy unbans aren't impossible, but less likely to occur due to many of the cards still being clearly too strong for the format. No, they're less likely to occur because nobody can afford the cards, and they won't even let us play Legacy half the time, so they probably don't even care. But anyway, with all that said, let's take a quick glimpse at the modern ban list and see what kind of shenanigans we can find that might be good for an unbanning. Let's see here. That was just put on there. Ancient Den, that might be cool. Birthing Pod. You guys remember Birthing Pod? Oh, those were the days. Hope it stays on there. Anyway, Bridge from Below. This can go... I think they can unban this. Because to be fair, this was never the real problem in the deck that it was in with the other cards. It was just they didn't want to... The cards were in print. And they didn't want to piss people off because they just bought the set. Anyway, Chrome Mox. Cloud Post. No, this stays on here. Hell with this card. Dark Depths. I think it should come off. Deathrite Shaman. This little fucker. Way too powerful. No. Dig Through Time. I mean, it's better to have this than Treasure Cruise. I mean, it does cost one more, technically. It is an instant, though. I don't know. It's just a tough call. Eye of Ugin. No, never take this off the ban list. I swear to God, if we see Eldrazi Winter again, I'm going to lose my shit. Field of the Dead. That stays on there. Fury. That's kind of a new ban. Let's leave it there. Grave Troll. I don't think that'd be too big a deal. Maybe. Hogak. Yeah, this guy. He's... oh boy. Bridge from Below paid for this guy's sins. Let me tell you what. Cart Clan Ironworks. That's too much. Luris. Anything with partner or whatever that hell was called that you can use in your sideboard and play it. It's no. Mystic Sanctuary, yeah, keep that out of here. Oko, the hell with this guy. Once Upon a Time. It's very powerful, very fun to use, and very good. I don't know if we should ban it. I think Ponder's fine in Modern. I mean, we've got cards that do a lot worse than this. Punishing Fire. People have asked for Punishing Fire to be unbanned. I don't think it's a good idea. And if you don't know why, check out the old Punishing Fire decks. They were miserable to play against and very hard to beat. Seat of Snid. Now that you've unbanned Mox Opal, you cannot unban the artifact lands. Affinity is... whew, yeah, it's way too strong as it is. You start putting artifact lands in there, you might as well just hang it up. Sensei's Divining Top. I think this might be a cool unbanning. Seeming Spirit Guide. Free mana is probably not good. Skull Clamp. Probably shouldn't do that. Summer Bloom. This catastrophe right here. Good God. You want to talk about Titan taking over the format? Do not unban this card. Treasure Cruise. Like I said, I think this is more dangerous than Dig Through Time for a lot of reasons. Dig Through Time only gets you 2 cards. Treasure Cruise gets you 3. You can cast it cheaper. It works with a lot of decks. It's just... No. Jetty shouldn't be unbanned. Up the Beanstalk, leave that thing off. Uro, Titan's Nature's Wrath. I mean, with the Titan Resurgence, this is probably not a good idea. Violent Outburst. Sky Nomad. Yeah, hell with Sky Nomad. And not a lot left on here, really, that I just kind of wandered through that would feel like a good unbanning to be fun with. Very few of these. I mean, Birthing Pod. Bridge from Below. Jesus, was that it? Good God, this list is awful. I mean, awful in a good way. Like, these cards are just crimes against humanity. Ponder, I think, be okay. Rite of Flame, no. Seething Song, absolutely not. Yeah, that's really about it, guys. So tell me down below what you think out of this list that we should unban. And don't worry, I'll be able to hear your sarcasm over the internet. Trust me. Let's be real. So until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. What the hell does Vault of Whispers even do? Well, anyway.